Hello and welcome to a second midweek Wardy's Waffle. I'll put this one up because we're starting combining tomorrow. You'll see doing a moisture sample later on in this update. And the start of this update, we've got the main plant breeder from Warwick University looking at the beans. A lot of really interesting data. Eric, who's an American, and giving us a real insight into the navy bean market and the navy bean breeding program. So I was really privileged to have him, one of his colleagues, come up to us yesterday. So quite a detailed look at the baked bean job and how we're getting on with those. Also, I'll take the empty chemical containers to the recycling place at Lincoln, one or two other bits around the farm, and also sampling wheat ready for combining tomorrow. So that's it for me. Let's crack on with this little midweek update, and if you make it to the end, we'll see you then, and thank you for watching. Okay, I'm in our bean field and I've got Eric from Warwick University. Justin's behind the camera, who some of you have seen my previous videos. And we've got here some Olivier. This is the same variety we're studying in the ground here. Just before we just talk about this, Eric, just quickly, why have we not been able to grow beans or beans that will make baked beans in this country up to now?
The main issue is you have to have varieties that have been selected using conventional breeding to grow in our environment, to use the sunshine that you get in Britain. So the varieties that the University of Warwick, like I've registered now, these ones that we're trialing, they've been selected to be grown in the same window of time that you would in North America.
Right.
But these varieties use the sunshine more efficiently than the North American variety would.
So if we were to grow those varieties here, say like Canada, because their growing season is a similar period to ours, we'd be harvesting when? End of October?
It'd be end of October if they've actually been able to produce the pods and the seeds.
So that's why we haven't been able to use their varieties over here for baked beans here.
And then the trouble, once we get into October, we know we start getting rain. If you've got a white bean like a navy bean, that moisture, if you even could harvest it, you can have issues with discoloration.
And when you look, so we've got, if we just pull the plant up here, you can see the difference when you look at that's one plant. We'll just grab another one or two. But if you just explain here, Eric, that what we've got is that flowers here are just starting, they'll be podding soon.
So these are some plants we brought up from the university. So we've got a farm further south, down near Stratford-upon-Avon. It's a sandy loam instead of a clay loam. But a week earlier, a bit more warmth, and you can see the difference. This is still in flowering. We're well into pod set, just because of different temperatures.
And that is?
So that's an example of a pod if you open it up. So Olivia is a black bean. It's a bit larger than a turtle bean, but it's a distinctive difference from a white navy bean. But there's a lot of consumer interest in black beans for a healthier diet. So same variety, different location. It just happens in year to year. It's a little bit colder here.
And this one was planted on the 24th of May, and you said this one was a week earlier. Incredible when you look at the difference in the plant size.
So if we get a bit of warmth the next week, these will shoot off, and we should still be able to with a bit of heat.
But these are Olivia, the variety Olivia, but these aren't for canning, are they? These are for cooking.
They could be for canning, but we're looking at the introduction of this variety onto our shelves as a dry bean. To initially, so people that are already cooking dry pulses, will probably have the first chance to actually cook with Olivia.
In the Capulet variety, and we've got a companion crop of black oats in here, and you can see it has done some good, Eric. What do you think of this?
I would say this is very exciting. So Capulet is a variety, the white navy bean is responding by growing a bit taller. That's because the oats are there. You're going to have really good canopy or good structure here for the harvest.
So it's trying to compete with the light. The reason they've come up is because they're just trying to get the light.
They're a bit taller. I'm just looking at the pods that you're getting set here. They're going to be at the top of the plant. All the way up that stem. And you've got at least 3 inches of clearance.
Look there, look, the pods there. And then you can see here the top of this plant, see how that's all reaching up for light. So you think it's worked and it's done what it was designed to do.
That's what really shows.
The pods there at the top of the plant. Right at the top there.
And you've got a few more flowers, so you'll get a whole string of pods. right at the top of the plant.
So we're about to take these out. When I say take them out, spray them, we're going to put graminicide on with also some trace elements on the crop to actually stop these, because these aren't viable yet and we don't want these to seed and become a problem. But at least they've done some good. They've done some good in the soil, haven't they? They've put some nutrients and some soil health there, if you like. And so we're going to stop these seeding now and get these sprayed off. But they'll still do some good because they'll provide shelter, and the beans will be trying to compete with light.
Yeah, down there in the soil, if you've got a grass, a monocot and a dicot, the roots in the soil, those are two different types of food that will feed the bacteria. Your soil health is very likely to improve as well.
Yeah, brilliant. We're just walking across to see the oats planted in the row and just spotted some of this volunteer rape. This field hasn't been oilseed rape for about 8 years. So it just shows how long, but we'll pull that and take it out, and this one as well. Another one here. We've just got some leaves here that's got a disease on it. What do you say it is, Eric?
Being yellow mosaic virus.
Yeah.
So capulet is susceptible. It's a virus we know comes from fava bean.
Right.
We also know from Roseanne's work when she was doing her PhD that this virus is not a problem on capulet or Olivia.
Right.
Both those varieties are resistant.
Yeah.
Godiva and Olivia, sorry.
So is it treatable? Obviously not now, it's too late now, but...
It's not treatable. You'd have to control the insect, which really isn't a viable option. So it's disease resistance is the best way to control it.
In plant breeding, yeah. So in this area where we've got the black oats as a companion crop, you can see looking down the rows, and you can see why it has done a good job, like Eric was just saying. It really has pulled the plants up because they're looking for light. And this obviously keeps the pods off the floor. But this is capulet, and this area here was planted with that precision drill on May the 26th, I think it was. And then this area is also capulet that we planted with our Simba drill, and this was done on May the 18th. And when you look at the difference, actually, I've just pulled a plant up, and here is what we've planted on that side. You can see the difference in height. And then here I've just pulled the plant up, and this is it here. You can see the pods a lot less, but there's still some pods there. So just to put it on the ground for comparison purposes, there you go, you can see the difference. On the right was May the 18th, and on the left with the companion crop was the 26th of May.
Yeah.
I've just pulled this one out, and that is the length of the root. It must be 15, 16 inches long, so what's that, 30 centimetres long, looking at that root. So this plant with the long root, this is the variety Godiva, and you can just see how much bigger the pods are here. And they're almost like runner beans. And these are for the dried bean market, not the canning. So that was the Godiva I was looking at a minute ago, how flat, but these are the capulet, and you can just see here how much better they are with the pods nearer the top. Still not high, but you can just see there, at least they're not laying on the soil. Something else Eric's brought. So we've got different tomatoes here and some peppers. So how are these grown, Eric?
These are grown in a new greenhouse where we're able to actually use the full sunlight. The plants are getting full UV light as well as the normal visible light. So it's growing tomatoes in an environment like they're grown in Spain. If you've been on holiday and eaten tomatoes in Spain or Italy or France, we're trying to see if we can grow things that taste the same, but with British sunshine, just like the beans.
Oh, that is just like eating red sugar. Oh, that is delicious.
So each of them are...
So what's that, Eric? What have we got there?
That's a Mexican pepper. Chacal, I think it's called.
Yeah.
It's a very unusual pepper, but it's like gold in Mexico. And we've been able to grow it in our greenhouse.
And these peppers, you say they're trying to...
These are poblano peppers.
Yeah.
So they're used for stuffing. You would grill this. It's a Mexican pepper, traditional Mexican pepper that you would grill and add to your beans.
Well.
So
I don't recognise that.
So what have we got there?
Well, so take a leaf off and crush it.
crush it, or
Yeah, just to get an idea what the smell is.
Come on.
yeah.
I know.
What is it?
Do you know what cilantro is?
Is that
Cilantro is actually from Asia, from China.
right?
We associate it coriander. Coriander, yeah, coriander. We associate it with Mexican
Yeah.
food, but this is the original. This is called Mexican culantro.
Yeah.
It's a Mexican herb where the beans and the tomatoes come from.
So Eric, we're back in the yard. Bit of a talk about home-produced food and all the work you're doing at Warwick University, which is fantastic. Thoughts on the field, what you've just seen?
Very optimistic, very encouraging. I think with things that we can learn that are showing that it's working. Other things that we can modify for next year.
Yeah.
But we're seeing varieties that are going to produce some beans.
Yeah, that's right.
The scale up is going to be something we need to learn from this year and talk about it over the winter. But I'm very optimistic, very positive.
And the cover crops or the companion crop, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think trying the oats a really good thing to test. I think it shows some good promise.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to coming back for the harvest.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to coming down to you and seeing you as well, what you're doing there. So thank you.
Yeah.
Just moving this trailer out that's got the cans in, but the tip this, we couldn't quite get on where it is, so Ruben's just going to put it on the Manitou. I'm going to tip it in the shed and then load them all up and get off to Lincoln to the recycling centre. This is what we have the trailer parked here because it's really near the shed, the spray shed, so when we're filling the sprayer up, we're just very near here to put them in this trailer. So there's the rest of the pile. It's interesting, this trailer used to be one of our main trailers years ago, with sugar beet as well, that's why it's got the mesh back door. So we'll just undo that. Like that. Yeah, we used to sugar beet, grain, everything with it. Yeah, to think that was one of our main trailers is unreal, really. Ruben's already had one bucket full in. So that's it, that's all the chemical containers from this time last year, all in this 16-ton trailer. So I've just pulled the sheet over the trailer. You could just see the cans over the top, but with the Blinks police being really keen on not having any load visible over the top of the level size, need to do it. And here, though, we need to remember to pull the strap behind the door, because if you don't, you lift that up, and if the strap's over the top of the door, you lift the hydraulic door up and it bends that top bar, that round bar of the sheet you can just see. We've all done it once. So if you put the strap behind here, behind this door, the door can lift up and down and not affect the sheet. Just need to pull that one. So I've just got to the waste recycling place. Just going to pull on the weighbridge here, weight, and then we tip it in that shed on the right, just near where they're stacking up that pile of rubbish there. All sorts going on here. Chap in the red is the one I'm looking for, who's telling me where to go apparently. Just tipping up the trailer, it's easy to see to back when it's tipped up, you can see underneath. All sorts going on here. That's it, just open the back door. That's it, shut the back door. Easy as that. That's a whole year of chemical cans. I'm not quite sure how many pounds worth of actual products that is. We'll have to work it out sometime. Some more waste there, I don't know what that is, but that's all been picked out. Back on the weighbridge now to weigh empty. Not a lot of room on these weighbridges that are raised up. It's the ticket I've got, and I need this for Red Tractor when we have an audit in December or January. They have to show that we've disposed of these correctly. And this has cost £100. There's a minimum charge of £100 or a tonne to get rid of, and this was half a tonne. If you can look there, just under half a tonne somewhere there. That's how much there was of all those cans. So it's £100 to get rid of the empty cans. That's lucky. Just got in time with all these lorries waiting to come on and tip. This is their own lorries, Lindham. I've just come into one of our wheat fields just to see if they're fit yet, ready for combining. This crop was beans last year, so I'm just going to pull some ears, and we'll then get them taken back to the yard and test them for moisture. So these are the ears, so we just need to rub them out like this and actually separate the chaff and the wheat, and that's where the phrase comes from, separating the wheat from the chaff, because that's exactly what we're doing. We're separating the good from the bad, and that's what that phrase started from many years ago. So we'll just rub this out here, and you can just see there blowing all the chaff out, the wind's blowing it out, pick out the bigger bits, so, and that as well, and then we're just left, rub it in the palm of one hand into the base of the other hand like that, and just keep doing that so that we're left with just good wheat. And there we go, that's just got the wheat. I've got the grain samples here, and we're just going to go and test the moisture. This is the moisture meter that we use. I don't know if you can see that in the sunlight. So the sample here, if you look on the the sample we use, I've got these rubbed out. You've just seen the ears of grain and me rubbing them out. We've got some different holes here, and wheat needs to be in the 9 milliliter hole. So there's the wheat rubbed out. So just see if we can hold that like that. That's it, that's enough there. And then what we do, tip that into there. That's gone into there, put that on there. This grinds it, you can see that surface is rough there, it's rough in there, so that you can hear it grinding until we stop. There we are, that's stopped. Then we switch it on, so it says wheat there, go again, and then it's now counting up. You can see the marks going up, 14.7, there we go. So we need to be combining. We've got fuel just arrived for harvest. This is the second lorry. I've ordered 27,000 litres altogether, and we've already had, I think, 17,000. And that's gone in that main tank there. We've just filled the Bowser up, and the difference in price from when I was ordering it, a few weeks ago. Actually, I'll just turn the camera around. So this main fuel tank behind me holds about 24,000 litres, and I was umming and ahhing about whether to order some at the end of June when it was 61.5 pence a litre, but we didn't need it. I knew we didn't need it till August, and we're part of Walmart, the buying group, and I do shop around a bit for fuel, but if you get stuff from them, if you order it the 1st of August, the 1st of any month, you don't have to pay for anything until the 20th of the month following. So that's why I sort of left it, but in between that time it's gone up something like 16-17 pence a litre, and on this 27,000 litres we've just had delivered, or having delivered, we've spent, it cost us an extra £4,400 more than if I'd bought it at the end of June. Obviously I'd have had to pay for it over a month ago when we didn't need it, so that was the risk I took. But yeah, it just shows how fuel's gone up, and I don't know why it's gone up to the level it has. So that's it for this midweek update. Until tomorrow night when there's another one, when we're going to be looking at combining. But just hope you enjoyed that bit about the beans, talking to Eric. I thought he was absolutely fascinating looking at the breeding programme. But also not just beans, what they're doing at Warwick University with the tomatoes and the peppers and everything else they're doing, and how they're trying to get the taste and the flavours to taste like they do when they're grown in a high sun and high temperature country. Anyway, thanks Eric for coming over, and thanks the rest of you for watching this update. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you tomorrow night.